The way society's going, people expect more and more, and you've got to be there to deliver it for them.
Yeah, 100%. There is an expectation for us. Like I said, we've got a solid team of people that, you know, we often talk about what's our next play, what's our next move, how are we remaining, you know, relevant. And that's not just over a period of 12 to 24 months. I mean, we look at this stuff, you know, month in, month out, and you know, with the members that we've got a key responsibility to make sure that they keep talking about Derrimut Gym.
Welcome to Building Perspective, the Master Builders SA podcast. I'm your host, Frogley. Join me as I speak with some characters in the building construction industry.
At Dulux Trade, we're making paint easy for tradies all over Australia. With over 230 stores and over 1,000 paint professionals, expert advice for your next job is closer than you might realise. Need specialist advice for a tricky job? Easy. On-site and need it delivered? Easy. So get to know your local Dulux Trade Centre, Inspirations Paint or Paint Spot today. And while you're there, sign up for Dulux Trade Direct for trade pricing and simplified ordering. Because at Dulux Trade, we're making paint easy.
So what do MBA members want? What motivates them to become a member of the association? Yes, it's your typical things like good training, good apprentices, good safety, good legal advice, good contracts, good return to work service. But these days it's about not just doing the bread and butter, it's about helping them with their lifestyle and what they do away from work as well. And what does the average MBA member like doing? Well, in my experience, they like playing and watching sport. They like going fishing. They like having a few social drinks, and they like pumping iron at the gym. And on that theme, it's great to have Owen from Derrimut Gyms, the General Manager, joining us here today. How's it going, Ash?
Really well, thanks, mate. Really excited to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah.
Stepping in today. It's a first one for me, but
first podcast ever.
First podcast.
We hear that all the time, don't we?
But no, really excited to be here, and thanks for the invite. Yeah, glad to share some stuff with you this morning.
Yeah, excellent. So for those who might be listening and aren't aware, Master Builders has a partnership with Derrimut Gyms, which we've signed recently, which we're really pumped about because we really liked what Derrimut was doing as a brand, growing well, encouraging a fit, healthy lifestyle, and that's something a lot of our members definitely aspire to. It definitely helps with a lot of their day-to-day jobs.
Yeah, great. Look, I think, you know, the alignment there with the two brands is just that, right? So, you know, for us, it's about providing, you know, facilities that can attract all walks of life. You know, we've got aspirations to grow on that, and the more partners that can align with us along the journey, you know, the better. But the alignment, I think, really is a sticking point for us in terms of that demographic that we bring into the gym, because, you know, that 18 to 35-year-old, which really sort of ties in nicely, you know, with your apprentices and people that are associated with the MBA. You know, it's a really good space for them to, like you said, you know, a bit of a home away from home and a destination that they can jump into and do what's required at the gym. And it's, you know, these days it is about health and wellness and wellbeing.
Absolutely, and that's a great thing. And the background to why we're actually here today is I went into a Derrimut gym with one of my mates.
Right. And
I just saw a never-ending procession of tradies, young tradies rocking up, and I was thinking, this is the NBA heartland, and they all want to get involved with Derrimut gyms, which is great. I think we've got to get a bit of a partnership going with Derrimut. So I reached out to Derrimut, and here we are. And some of the great benefits we've got is that if you're an MBA member or you work for an MBA member, you get a great rate on being a member of Derrimut Gyms. And it's also great to have Derrimuts get around our apprenticeship program. So some of the benefits there are if you're an apprentice of the month or you're a host of the month, you get a year's free membership at Derrimut. What a prize. It's definitely worth winning, isn't it?
100%. Work hard, guys and girls, work hard.
That's right. So there's going to be a lot of really stoked apprentices out there when they and hosts when they get that announcement. And then there's some other really cool things in there, like our apprentices getting Derrimut water bottles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is just great. We think it's awesome. And I know Derrimut's already been out there presenting the first few awards in that category, and the apprentices and hosts were really stoked when they found out what they'd won. That's for sure.
No, that's good. I mean, you know, for us, it's not so much about the branding. You know, it's more about the relationship. And you know, we're in a state of South Australia that's definitely a growth state for us. You know, having the 11 facilities here and more on their way, it's really exciting for us. So any opportunity that we can partner with a key brand such as yours, would jump at that. And like I said, if anything, it's all about relationship. It's all about momentum, and it's all about movement. So, you know, I just sit here today thinking that this is just the tipping point of what we can do, you know, being a key partner with you guys.
Absolutely. That's great to hear. And one of the things I really like as well is the way our Born to Build program's linking in with Derrimut. So, I mean, Well, I think I really care about the next generation coming through, and you want them to have a good job, a good career, and you want them to keep fit and healthy. If they've got those two things lined up, they're going to have a pretty good life, most likely, aren't they?
Yeah,
So,
they are.
yeah.
You know, I've got I've got kids myself. They're at an age not at that. They're probably a few years off an apprenticeship age as such. But for me now, it's about setting a platform up that if they were to step into an apprenticeship or a space that they need, for their progression at a young age, that's what motivates me the most. Hence the motivation to align ourselves with such a key partner in you guys.
That's excellent. So Ryan Palmer, who listens to this podcast obviously all the time and is one of our Born to Build fieldies, he's a Derrimut member and he loves actually going out to Derrimut, flying the flag for MBA and saying, hey, at the front, you want to be a tradie, you call Master Builders and we'll get you started. So he absolutely loves going out there, especially to that behemoth gym you've got out there on Northeast Road, Windsor Gardens. Far out that. I went to the launch of that, and I've got to say that is by far the biggest gym I've ever set foot into in my life.
Yeah, we're really excited by that location, and hats off to Ryan, the great work that he does, and continue to fly that flag, mate, because our member base is growing at a rate of knots. We've got a lot more traffic walking in and out of our gyms, and the location that you've mentioned on Northeast Road, so our Windsor Gardens site is our flagship here in South Australia. So typically whatever we roll out in terms of new assets, you'll see at that gym. So, it is a behemoth. We initially took on that site at 2,600 square metres. It sits today at about 5,100 square metres.
Is that one of the largest gyms in Australia, the Southern Hemisphere, or what? It seemed enormous when I went out there and saw it.
It's really close to that, right? Yeah. So in Victoria, we have a site, Caroline Springs, so that sits at about 5,500. Yeah. So it's certainly one of our biggest, and with the acquisition of that building, that will go from 5,100 square metres to 8,000 square metres.
Wow.
So that will certainly become the biggest gym in Australia.
Wow. And right here in Adelaide, isn't that great? The biggest gym in Australia right here in Adelaide.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And that site you've got out there, you picked that up from Pickard's.
Yeah, we did. We did indeed. So again, it's business is a funny thing. Everything sort of happens for a reason, right?
That's right. And not too many degrees of separation there.
There's not. And everything kind of cycles back. But we stepped into that space a few years ago, and the relationship was just built, from there on out. So we've been given that opportunity. We see it as a great one, but that will become the biggest gym in South Australia.
I'm not surprised it's been such a success out there, because it's got all the ingredients you'd want, really. It's a great site and so visible there on a busy road at Northeast Road. So many people drive past that site every day.
Yep.
It really puts you in the box seat to get more members in, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it does. And the purpose behind that, like I said, is the fact of the matter is it needs to be our flagship here in South Australia. So it's on a key location, a key spot for us. So whatever we do, however we roll out our gyms going forward, whatever changes need to be made, that site will be the first to be introduced to that. But the assets that we've now got in the gym are very different to what they were 8 to 10 years ago. So
it's definitely not just a couple of treadmills and a couple of free weights, is it? You've got a lot in there.
Yeah, look, for us, we've been around for a little bit. So the business is 13 years young, this year. But we believe that you just can't survive in this market if it's just weights and cardio and group fitness. So for us, we need to look at areas that we can continue to build on that will attract a new type of member. And to be honest with you, I think one of our key motivators is listening. We don't think that we've got all the answers. So for us to move forward, we certainly need to listen to our customers' demands and what they're after, what they want to step into that space and train into. So for us, again, the addition around the basketball court, more functional space. We've recently added Reformer Pilates into that site as well, which is great. So it's a really complementary service to our group fitness offering. We're expanding our retail space as well very soon, which is really exciting. So not to give too much away, but if you enjoy smoothies and protein shakes after you train, we're looking to roll that out pretty soon across all of our 11 locations here in SA.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I do enjoy all that type of stuff. And I noticed you've already got like a whole heap of Derrimut meals on the go and stuff like that, and any number of supplements when you walk in the door. It's you almost make it a one-stop shop, which is good for busy people on the run, which is a lot of our members. It
is, right? So, everyone's time poor, or at least I guess they're kind of more now time poor than what they maybe were sort of pre-COVID. But a lot of us are busy, and for us it's about creating an environment that delivers everything that you'd kind of look for when you go into a gym. So if you can imagine having a gym bag, walking into a gym, what happens if you forget that gym bag? So all those items and elements that would form a gym bag going into a gym, such as a towel, a drink bottle, a supplement,
all the necessities,
food, all the necessities, clothing, whatever it may be. We'd like to consider ourselves as being a one-stop shop, but more so one of our call-outs is that we are more than a gym. And, I think the gym is becoming secondary to what we're doing primarily, which is additional services and complementary services that would keep us relevant going forward, which is really key for our business as much as no different it would be for yours.
I was going to say I can totally relate to all of this. It's about giving your members what they want and a good price with a good experience, and staying innovative and constantly striving to give them more for their money as well.
That's right.
I think the way society's going, people expect more and more, and you've got to be there to deliver it for them.
Yeah, 100%. There is an expectation. For us, like I said, we've got a solid team of people that we often talk about what's our next play, what's our next move, how are we remaining relevant, and that's not just over a period of 12 to 24 months. I mean, we look at this stuff month in, month out, and with the members that we've got a key responsibility to make sure that they keep talking about Derrimut Gym, that they keep pushing the fact that we are the leaders in the industry. We believe we are. For us, it's about delivering that model around that belief and keeping this brand moving. We're excited that we've got the sites that we've got, but there's a lot more coming across the country, but more so here in SA. So, watch this space.
I think you are the leader with your brand in South Australia, no doubt.
Thank you.
That's why I approached you in the first place. I thought this is the gym that, because I'd been wanting to have a partnership with a gym for a while, and I just wanted one that was the right fit. And I thought Derrimut was the perfect one for MBA, our apprentices, members. I thought Derrimut just had the right, it had the right brand, the one that we really are after. So
yeah, great. That's good to hear. I think our mix of offering, kind of warrants that. We are bullish in our approach to making sure that we deliver a product that is unique and that is different. But it is a point of difference now because we attract all types of people. It doesn't matter what journey or what fitness journey that you're on. If anything, ultimately, it's a place that you can resort to after work, before work. You can start your day. You can train in an environment that's motivating. You'll get served and approached, from the staff and the team at every site. There's nothing better than conversation in the morning, to help kickstart your day. And look, we're passionate to make sure we deliver on our promises, and we deliver a model that's unique.
Healthy body, healthy mind. I really think it's so true. If you're fit and healthy, you're more motivated to do other stuff. If you're going through a stressful period at work, if you can just blow off some steam by getting just an hour in of exercise, and playing sport or whatever it is, it can make a real difference. And you feel like you can reset, and whatever happened today wasn't that bad. I feel ready to take on the next day.
And I think just on that, there's a lot of people that have gone through a lot of stuff. Me personally, years and years ago, everyone goes through it. And if you've got a sanctuary, whatever that may be,
that's right,
to sort of get your mind right, to get your head right, well, don't abuse that. If it's in front of you, if it's down the road, if you've got to drive 30 minutes to make it happen, just do it. We're all sure enough, we want to provide the facilities for as many people as we can in different ways, shapes and forms. But the bottom line for us is that we're building a community. That's what we're most, that's key priority for us. We talk about community, then we talk about family, and we try and kind of merge that together, whereas it is a place or a home away from home as such. So the environment's great. The people are really friendly. The facilities are great. And we just want to keep building on that.
That's excellent, because I think I can see where you're going with this, and it's quite similar with what we try and do a lot of things. You want to deliver a good service and stuff, but you want it to be a good experience as well, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
You want people to want to go to Derrimut gyms or MBA or whatever it is, and come home thinking, I got my good session in or whatever, but then I really like just going to this particular gym.
That's right. It's for I guess for what we're trying to create, it's certainly a habit for people to get into that routine, but it can't be a chore. We want to make it as exciting. The key word there would be entertainment. I think there's a real synergy between exercise and entertainment, and I call it Exertainment. So that's the sort of key word for our brand going forward, is that you can go into our gyms and have a really, a great experience, exercise, but the entertainment factor needs to be there. And that could be atmosphere, it could be community, it could be having a conversation with a team member behind the front counter before you train. And I think from a brand perspective, that's a real focal point for us. So, we'll continue to try and provide the best experience possible and have a good mix of exercise at the same time.
So here's a couple of fitness-related questions,
Sure.
as you might. So, firstly, what advice would you give to someone who's wants to kind of get into the gym, but maybe they're a bit out of shape, maybe they've let themselves go a little bit?
Yep.
What advice would you give to them? And also, what's the key to not only starting going to a gym, but making it that regular habit, as you were talking about?
Yeah. Well, look, firstly, and as difficult as it can be, just make a start, even if it's once or twice a week to begin with. A lot of people just think that going to a gym, you need to go there 3, 4, 5 days a week minimum to get key results. It's not about that. At the end of the day, we're all not bodybuilders. We get around this world in different ways, shapes and forms, and everyone's body is different. At the end of the day, if it's just you making that start, getting to the gym. In terms of a routine, look, I believe that a crowd attracts a crowd. Go with someone. The first step might be getting there, but in our gyms, in terms of our community and our family approach, you'll soon have a relationship or a friendship with a group of people that will help motivate you go to our gyms. We've got that many visitations coming in and out of our locations at the moment that I believe that just getting to one of our gyms will start that journey for you. But the key to that is surrounding yourself with the right people, someone else or a group of people that are, they don't necessarily need to have the motivation from the get-go. They might just be wanting to make that initial start like you are. That's enough. That's all it takes. And then I'll tell you what, the gym space itself, the rest is history. The rest will look after itself.
I'm getting motivated to hit the gym more regularly now myself.
How about we go do a training session after
I'm
this?
pretty keen, yeah. All this talking about gym thing, I've got to be pushing it a bit harder. So
that's it.
Yeah. No,
it's all just making that initial start. To be honest, I never used to be a gym goer. To be honest, I've got a background in basketball and always just thought it was all about shooting and developing a good shot and moving on the basketball court. Gym wasn't really a factor for me. But to be honest, as soon as I started with Derrimut, my God, did I get motivated. And sometimes it's not just about getting there. When you're in that environment, it just makes you kind of want to be there, right? It's sometimes you don't need your own headphones when you go to our gyms. The music's pumping. It's like a nightclub, right? But there's weights everywhere and you can keep fit at the same time. What else? What more do you want?
That's awesome. Yeah.
So
I got to say myself, I was always been more of a sportsman than an athlete.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I just wanted to hit balls, throw balls, kick balls.
Yeah.
In terms of working on my fitness, I probably saw that as a low priority.
Yep.
But the older I get, and I'm 42 now, I know how important it is to stay fit and flexible so I can keep playing sport. So that's my motivation to try and get to the gym at least a couple of times a week.
Well, that's the thing. If you've got a key motivator, that's you just stick with it and run with it. I think for me, it's, look, we're not too dissimilar in age, but my two boys who are now 15 and 12, I'd like to think that I'd still be able to run around with them on the same team on a basketball court. So that's my key motivator.
I love seeing dads and mums play with their kids in a competitive sport.
Yeah.
I see that a bit with some of the sports I play, and it's just awesome.
Yeah.
Like the thrill of that, you can just see it in their face, like the parents, how great it is to be playing competitive sport with their son or daughter.
Yeah, that's right.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day, my girls are 2 and 4, so they've got a bit of a way to go before I can ever play some kind of sport with them, at least in an organised league. But they're off to a good start. Like I can't believe the hand-eye coordination my oldest daughter in particular has got. She can kick a ball, hit a ball like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah,
so
that's great. No, that's great. My two boys are into the basketball as well, and they're over there in Western Australia doing their thing and slowly sort of moving up the ranks, which is great. But
Brilliant.
I just keep thinking when that time comes that I'm on the same team as them, they're going to be saying, "Dad, you should have done this. You should be there." I'm like, "Oh, fuck, give me a break, mate. I'm trying to keep up."
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
There's this really cool program that my girls go to. It's called Ready, Steady, Go Kids. So each 2 weeks they try a different sport. So 1 week it's tennis, 1 week it's soccer, 1 week it's footy. And
awesome.
And for me, honestly, I don't really care what they're into when they're old. I just want them to have something that they enjoy and they're passionate about, whatever sport that is or whatever even activity it is.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's all about.
Well, it is. And that just goes
makes
back
them feel good about themselves.
Oh, that's right. And it goes back to that, community sort of conversation we had earlier. It's getting them involved with people with similar interests or, long term that, if they can start friendships at that age and have them right through, well, I think there's nothing better.
So turning back down more specifically to Derrimut in South Australia, so how many gyms have you actually got in South Australia now, and where are they located?
Oh, south, north, right across the board.
And looking to expand as well, I hear?
So currently 11 sites active and doing pretty well. We've had a good uptake, post-COVID, which was always a concern for us because getting people back into the gym, into that environment, and building their confidence back up, knowing that it's a safe place, was always a bit of a battle. If anything, it's much hard. It was much harder.
How hard was it to keep fit in Melbourne during those COVID years?
It was difficult.
Must have been really hard.
Oh, there was restrictions left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of us, me included. You'd really worry walking out of the house, jumping in the car, driving down a street that you weren't allowed to go beyond, and making sure you had a permit in the car and that you could answer if you were pulled over correctly, to tell people where you're going and why you're going to where you're going. It's just a really crazy and weird sort of passage of time. But
thank God it's in the rearview mirror, right?
We're really lucky, and we hope obviously something like that never comes to life ever again. It was really discouraged a lot of people, and it was really, I think, for people to keep fit. Thank God that we had parks, and a lot of people sort of took the opportunity to purchase home gym equipment and whatnot, and even professional athletes like with our alignment there with Melbourne United, we were fortunate that we helped them, with equipment, with even professional athletes that were stuck at home to keep them in good nick and good shape, for what they needed to do. But it was difficult, so we're just grateful that again, thankfully South Australia wasn't as disrupted as Victoria was. If it was, the brand could have had to sort of go through an even tougher period. We were heavily reliant on the performance and the success of our gyms here in South Australia to ensure that the brand could see it through, number one, and number two, to make sure that our growth and our forecasting was still something that was foreseeable, something that, not just foreseeable actually, that was achievable. So we, because through that period, we still had a number of locations that we had signed and that we wanted to roll out, but it was sort of a tools down scenario across our portfolio. So we just relied heavily on what we had actively and the performance that would come with that. So we really had to sort of pivot strongly to make sure that that income was coming into, I guess, for the survival of our brand. But 11 sites in SA, a lot more coming, which is great. So, they're as far north as Anglevale, as far south as Seaford Meadows. Yep. We've even got one here in the city in Rundle Mall that's doing exceptionally well. And all of our sites are performing. So for us, it means that, the brand, the community here in South Australia is really getting behind what we're doing. We're hoping that what we deliver as a product is performing and is up to their standards. All the reporting and the data that I see week in, week out suggests that it is. We just got to keep adding. We've got to keep creating that experience that's going to, see us further into the future.
I think you're just getting better and better from what I've seen, and I'm really pleased to hear that South Australia helped you through that difficult patch with COVID.
It really did.
With your gym memberships, if you can visit multiple Derrimut sites, can't you? That's a real benefit. If someone's away with work, or they're working, we have members who might live up north but they're working down south, and if they've got an option to go to a Derrimut gym right there after work, that's a real benefit, isn't it?
Well, our one of our key motivators is to make sure that convenience is key as well. So you're right. All of our members have reciprocal rights all across our portfolio, whether that be here in South Australia or across the border into Victoria.
So even if you were in Melbourne
travel
for work, you could go to Derrimut, a gym.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so if you've signed up,
great.
for example, at Windsor Gardens and you've gone interstate travel, we've got 14 sites in Victoria.
Awesome.
We've got sites regionally. We've got sites in the metro. So we it's not just that one-stop shop environment, but it's really a convenience factor that we're trying to promote as a brand as well, and not making it difficult for people to train.
Yeah.
I think that's. It's key around the size of our facilities too. I think on average now our facilities are at about 3,500 square metres on average. So it's not just, we're not just weights and cardio. We know we can't survive with that model in this market. Post-COVID, we've seen a lot more entry to market with new brands and new concepts. So which is great for us in terms of keeping our brand and what we do from an accountability standpoint. It just means that we've just got to move quick. So, like I said earlier, we are bullish in what we do. We believe that we can grow on our market share, but the overarching importance of what we do is making that experience key for our members. And when they set foot into our gym, it's just that wow factor that you can see on their face when they come through. And a lot of our members are training on average between 45 minutes to an hour at minimum. So that excites us, knowing that they're even staying longer in our gyms and getting the full experience.
It's definitely impressive when you walk through the doors, for sure, no doubt about it.
Yeah, again, we're forever changing. We've just sort of remodeled what we do in terms of our fit out, and what I call sort of Derrimut 3.0 has been rolled out in Geelong. We've got a site down in Corio, which is about 3,300 square metres, with the addition of basketball court, member lounge, so free Wi-Fi. You can sit down, do emails, that type of thing. And it's in the retail space as well. So not only are we making it convenient for people as a member, but if you're driving past one of our gyms and you need to duck in for some food, or if you want to pick up some supplements, you can also sit there, jump onto the free Wi-Fi that we provide and do some work if needed as well.
So speaking of basketball, Master Builders is a big supporter of someone else you've partnered with recently, which is the Adelaide 36ers. Tell us about that.
Look, great alignment. Our synergies, again, are very much the same. Trying to keep my basketball, the love that I've got for the game aside, I think just seeing the grassroots level is what excites me the most, and seeing young kids, young people have opportunity. And the alignment there with the Adelaide 36ers is just that. There's a lot of young up-and-comers coming through that team. Retrospective of their performance, whether that be, the season just gone or the one prior, there's certainly a team that's on the up. And we've got some great, sort of relationships with, the group that work out of the Adelaide 36ers as well. And there's a few key people that we also align with in terms of our development with prospecting sites and having people help us get to where we need to get to, who are also aligned with the 36ers. So, sure enough, it is a small place, and, it does seem that, everyone's in each other's pockets at times. But if it wasn't for the relationships that we've built over the years, and particularly partnering with the 36ers, I just don't know where we'd be, to be honest. So if we see a great opportunity from a corporate alignment, we'll jump on that. And much like we've done here with you guys, it's been, sure enough, in the short term, it's been great success. And I would only think that we're going to build on that, just like we've done with other key partners with the, great example with the Adelaide 36ers.
Yeah, I think there's some great people down at the 36ers, and I think going to games this year, they've done an awesome job at creating a buzz around the team, packing the Adelaide Entertainment Centre out with really big crowds, and it's a really fun night out. They've just got to raise the performance on the court and hopefully take home the championship next year. Then everyone will just be pumped.
I don't think they're too far away. Great coach, great team. And
the talent's definitely there.
100%. And I think Mitch McCarron used to be with Melbourne United. Just a great player. Pulled on the jersey for Australia a number of times and knows his stuff. And I think from a leadership perspective, he'll be there for a number of years, really guiding that team to hopefully a championship.
Well, mate, it's been great chatting with you today, and I feel pumped. I'm going to go to the gym tonight, and after all this motivational talk,
That's what I like to hear.
I'm going to go to the gym tonight. I'm doing it, and also we're just really excited about the partnership that Master Builders has got with Derrimut, and I think it's got so much potential to grow into a really huge, massive thing for the benefit of everyone. So
yeah, look, from where I sit,
where it goes.
From where I sit, mate, it'll only get stronger, and we're really grateful that we can continue the partnership, the alignment. Like I said, it's only going to get stronger. I'm sure your apprentice and your apprenticeship program is only going to get more so. So again, for us, it's continuing that alignment and making it as fruitful as we can.
And any apprentice or host watching this, make sure you do the 1%ers, and you might take home that free 1-year gym membership with Derrimut Gyms.
Yeah, sometimes that's what it's all about. Just the 1%ers. Get it done. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the process, and we'll play our part as best as we can.
Excellent. Good man, and thanks for coming on the podcast.
My pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for joining me on Building Perspective. For more information on Master Builders or our guests, please visit our website at mbasa.com.au.